Welcome to the Yard Business Chat. Can we meet you?
Hi, so my name is Folu. My full name is Folua, but everyone calls me Folu. What else? I work at Paystack. I'm a product specialist, so I guess that categorizes me as a Texas. I'm from Ogun State. I look Igbo, so a lot of people literally speak Igbo to me when they meet me. I think that's what comes to mind. Unless you want to ask me any questions, yeah.
So in the Yard today, we'll be chatting about how to build a market-ready product. And you are here because we trust you to dissect this topic for us. Are you ready?
Try my best.
All right. So from your brief, you're a product specialist. So can you help us differentiate product specialist, product manager, product marketer?
Okay. So this is a question I get asked quite a lot. So a product specialist is literally, you'd have to be a specialist in the products. So in my role, I work in payments, right? I literally have to know everything about payments, from the customer side to the business side. In my day-to-day, I interact a lot with businesses, SMEs to large enterprises, and to be able to help their businesses grow in terms of collecting payments online, I have to understand payments. I have to understand what kind of products would suit their business needs. So it's literally just knowing everything about payments, knowing everything about the company that I work for, and also being a product specialist in the businesses that I'm managing as well. I guess product management is more of, as a product manager, you are helping to build out the products, right? You are understanding customers' needs, you're understanding customers' problems, and you are creating a product that solves that particular problem. So why product specialist is more like you are learning about the products. Product management is more you're building out the products for the company.
So what inspired you to be a product specialist?
Funny enough, I actually didn't want to be a product specialist. I wanted to work in a startup. I wanted to work in an environment where I'll be challenged every day. I also was intrigued in fintech as well because I schooled in the UK for about 6 years, and I was really exposed to a lot of startups over there. So I said to myself that, whatever company I'm going to work for would be a startup in the fintech space. In terms of being a product specialist, I just knew I wanted to be in a customer-facing role. I wanted to interact with customers or businesses. And when I started applying for jobs, I guess product specialist was one of the things that I came across. When I looked at the job description, it was everything I wanted to do. So I just decided to go for it at the time.
So what's a typical day like for you?
Man, it depends. It depends on the day. So I manage businesses, like I said earlier, and every day is different. So it's not usually a bunch of meetings. Some days I might just be firefighting. If a particular business needs a particular product, and they need Paystack to be able to help with that product or business needs. Sometimes I'm in meetings just upselling Paystack or upselling a particular product that they can use. Other times it's literally just if something is broken in their system or in their integration with us, just trying to figure out and solve that problem for them. Other days is more of working internally, so working with developers, working with the marketing team, to get the feedback from the businesses I manage, and give that feedback internally, right? So working internally to build out new products, new features that we can come up with, and also just working with a bunch of departments. I think as a product specialist, one thing I really enjoy is there's no team I don't work with. I work with every team, from finance to marketing to, you name it. Basically every department you can think of.
So if you're given the opportunity to do something else, what would it be?
Oh, that's easy. So I really enjoy, I think I'll be doing something in the creative space. So either interior decorating or starting a fashion line for tall women, because I'm tall, I'm 6'1". So yeah, either of those two if I wasn't doing what I'm doing now.
Okay, so now to building a market-ready product, you have the expertise to help us out. So, are new ideas the best products?
In my experience, the best products are usually the ones that solve a particular problem, an existing problem that is scalable, right? So a new idea, you have to, it depends, first of all, on the kind of product you're building, right? You have to, first of all, think, okay, is this, the first question you have to ask yourself is, this idea that I have, is this something that would be useful to the people that I'm living in? So in Nigeria, for example, you want to localize it, right? Because you have to build out a product that, in a familiar environment, somewhere that you currently live in, because that's where you really know the problems that customers are facing, right? So that's the first thing, right? Does it solve the problem? The second thing is it scalable, right? So is it a business idea that you can build out and will be scalable in the next 5-10 years, right? Is it a product that you can expand to other countries as well, other markets? So that's the second thing, is it scalable? And the third thing is to have a business, a market-ready product, you'd have to have skills and expertise in that area, right? So you'd have to do your market research, you'd have to speak to not only the customers that you're trying to solve the problem for, but you have to speak to other business owners, try and figure out, what challenges they came across, anything that you can do differently while building out your products. So you'd have to network a lot. So that's something that's very, very much needed when you're thinking of building out a new product.
So would you say there is a dream team to building a market-ready product? If there is, what can individuals make up this team, and what do they each bring to the table?
Again, it depends on the kind of products you're building on. I will speak about the space because I'm in tech, right? So if you're building out a business that's using technology, you're going to need very good developers or very good engineers, so to speak, right? You need people who would challenge the status quo, right? So people that don't really take things as they are willing to build things that don't even exist, right, at the moment. They're willing to dream big, they're willing to be ambitious, right? Because the moment you limit yourself when building out a product or building out a business, you've kind of already failed, right? Because you don't want to put like a ceiling or a limit to what you're building, right? So I think a dream team is, first of all, people that have the skills in the area that you're trying to build, and people that are also ambitious, that can think big, right? That can think globally, right? Those are the two things that come to mind in terms of a dream team.
Okay, so when people that are not from tech background think of building a product, there's this feeling that comes with having to work with developers. Yeah. So can you share tips on how to work with them?
Yeah, sure. So I'm not a tech person. Before I started working as a product specialist, I did not know anything about APIs or the usual jargons that come with working in the tech space. So I would say working with developers is very interesting, right? Because as a non-tech person, I understand the problems, or I get the feedback from the businesses, right? And I'm interacting with developers on a daily basis, trying to figure out what code they can build to solve this problem, right? So I think in my experience with working with developers, one thing I've learned is that you have to break things down because developers are sometimes quick to say that this cannot be built or this will take a long time for it to be built. But I've seen that if you break things down and speak to them, let them understand, like from a customer-facing view, how this will solve the problem, that helps a lot, right? So it's more like you're working hand in hand with the developers, with the engineering team. And also, they're also giving you feedback because it's a two-way street. As much as you're interacting with them, giving them feedback from the customer-facing view, they are also giving you feedback from the technical point of view, right? So you'd have to learn the basic stuff like APIs. You'd have to learn some certain technical language, right, to be able to even interact with them in the first place. So yeah, in my experience, I think it's just having like patience and being able to break things down on both ends. That's what has helped me so far.
All right. So aside from the issue with developers, what other issues arise during product development, and how do you advise example?
I would say another thing that affects product development is, so timelines are a big thing, right? When you're a product developer, when you're a product manager, right? Because sometimes you're working with the timeline of the company. Other times you might be working with the timeline of the business or whatever the case might be that you're trying to solve, right? So I think the technical bits, the goals of the company as well really matters, because sometimes you can have a product team that's ready to roll out a product, but maybe there's pushback from the marketing team for whatever reason, right? Or from another department. So you have to make sure that, and when you're rolling out a product, the entire company or the entire team is in sync, right? So that's the second thing that comes to mind when it talks about being a product. Another thing is regulation. So in my field, I've seen that there are products that we're ready to build or we're ready to roll out, but we have to be absolutely sure that we've gotten the approval, so to speak, from the regulators in the industry that we operate in. If we have a market-ready product and regulation has not approved of that product, then that affects the ability to roll out our products in time.
Okay, to our topic, how do you know when a product is market-ready?
Okay. So what I do in the field I work in, we usually, before we roll out a product to our entire merchants or the entire customer base, we roll out a pilot. And we select businesses that we think would benefit from that product, right? Maybe 1 or 2 or 3 businesses or customers, right? So we roll out that product to those 3 specific customers, and we get feedback from them. We work with them every day to just get feedback. How is the day-to-day? Does it solve the problem for them? And what are the problems they came across? And in most times, we found that there are a lot of things that we could do better when we do like a pilot rollout, right? And then we take that feedback and then we make adjustments to the product, right? So I think knowing when a product is market ready is when you've done a successful pilot, I would say. When you are very sure that the customers that were in the pilot phase are very happy with the products that you rolled out. Then you can say, okay, this product is ready to be rolled out to the entire market.
What would you say determines if a product will survive in the market or otherwise?
I would say the demand for that product. So is this a product that a lot of businesses or a lot of customers are demanding for and are using? Is this a product that is a product that you can upsell to different businesses of different sizes, right? Not just in the markets that you're putting. So for example, Lagos, but is it something that you can sell to a customer in Kenya, in Uganda, for example, right? So I think the demand would definitely tell you if a product is good. I think another thing to know if a product is good is when you know that you can build out a better version of that product, right? So yeah, an upgraded version of whatever product that you built, right? That's when you know that, okay, this product is solving a problem and there are even more problems that the next upgrade of that product can solve. I would say that those are the 2 things, at least, that come to mind.
Okay, have you ever worked on a product that did not survive when you got to the market?
That did not survive? To be honest, no. No, because where I work, before we roll out any products, we always ask questions. We always reiterate. We always make sure that this is something that the market needs. So sometimes we've gotten requests for products and we've started building out, but maybe we've not rolled out, right? So in my experience, there's not been a product that has not survived, because we are very sure. We always make the time, to ensure that this is something that the market absolutely needs. So no, I haven't been in a space where like the product hasn't survived.
So what advice would you have for tech entrepreneurs looking to build a product that is market ready?
For tech entrepreneurs or entrepreneurs in general, Okay, good. Because they're two different things. Okay, so as an entrepreneur, again, I can only speak for the space I work in tech. In addition to knowing that this problem, this product solves a particular problem in the market, you have to also make sure that you yourself as the entrepreneur are getting the required skills to build out this product. You have to be able to know your strengths and your weaknesses. You have to be able to know what you can delegate to others, right? So delegation can come in form of maybe having a co-founder. It can come in form of having a CTO who will just take over the technical parts of the business and you would focus on the business side, right? So knowing your strengths and weaknesses from day one would really go a long way, right, in building out a successful product or a successful business even. And then being able to work with the technical team, really being able to break down your idea to them and allow them to build from the technical side a product that would, that fits your dream or fits the products that you're trying to build out, right? Yeah, I would say those three things because I'm not an entrepreneur, so it's very hard for me to give this. But like from the experiences I've had working with businesses, I would say that those three things, they really go a long way because as an entrepreneur, it's very easy for you to say that you know it all. You are the one that has the product idea, so you don't need anybody telling you what to do, right? But you have to be able to take feedback a lot, and those feedback might not necessarily be what you want to hear sometimes. So yeah.
All right. So again, never have I ever.
Okay.
So never have I ever. So have you ever lied to your boss?
Lied to my boss? Have I? No, I don't think so. No, I haven't.
Okay, so have you ever been gifted a gift?
Yes, I have. I have a very long time ago.
So, all right. So have you ever slept off past your bus stop?
Slept off? Yes, normal. Yes, I have. I have done that.
So, right, do you have a favorite business post that keeps you going?
I think one thing that keeps me going, I guess, is every day I look to solve a different problem, right? Because that's honestly what's in my role, at least, because I'm working with business. There's sometimes that I go to bed literally thinking about my business problem, my clients' problems. So I think one thing that keeps me going is solving a different problem every day and also learning something new every day, right? Those two things are what keeps me going.